You listening?
What is the crack, folks? Welcome to the Craic'n Coachin podcasts with your hosts Donal and Emmet. We have been on a week's hiatus between Emmet having to go away for Olivia's birthday and me being at a show weekend, and then we almost missed this week's episode as well because I'm a sick wee boy, but we pulled it all together because Emmet's a legend as usual and pulls himself out of bed at 4 a.m. like an absolute trooper. Emmet, how are you feeling?
I'm good, mate. Hope you're feeling better. You sound better.
Yeah, still one of Rihanna's sour sensation apple and cherry bar drinks, and it seems to be hitting the spot. Like, it is no
Makes
sugar
sense.
as well, just in case anyone wonders.
Makes sense as to why you're feeling better when you're getting them into you. That's the cure. But no, mate, I've missed you. Honestly, feels like we haven't caught up in a long time, but it's only been a week. So, but I think we've a lot to catch up on. This episode's just going to be a bit of a catch up, I reckon.
Sounds good to me, sir.
Yeah. Where we'll start? PCA. Big show weekend.
We'll start with your weekend before we jump into mine, because mine could probably take a wee bit longer if I sort of give a bit of a review on the PCA. How was your weekend,
Alright,
sir?
Fair enough. Weekend just passed. Pretty quiet. Didn't get up to much. Just usual weekend, but the weekend prior was Olivia's birthday. So we went away, a little town called Bright in the state of Victoria, just outside Melbourne. It was very nice. Like, it was just touching grass. It was like a very scenic. We're in the autumn, so all the leaves were dropping. There was all nice trees and stuff around. So it was just we were just feeling one with nature, and it was a bit of a quiet time away, which was nice. And it was, yeah, as you were saying to me beforehand, I was out of routine for a bit, but it was all good. Just try to be present and enjoy it, and then back to it during the week. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me in general, to be honest. I don't even think I've spoke about it on here, but I took a new PE role on, new full-time PE role, and mate, I'm racking up like 25k plus steps daily. So I'm just trying to manage my recovery. But there's no way around it. I'm just moving around so much during a working day, in school, like. Even when I'm trying not to get steps in, I'm doing loads. But yeah, I'm doing that, and balancing that obviously alongside my training and everything else. I finally got started, signed up with AJ there. So we're about a week in.
And how are you getting on with it?
All good, mate, to be honest. Obviously early days, just probably just a bit of an adaptation period between picking up this job and then making sure I'm still keeping everything in check as well with regards to my own process, my own routine, and all that good stuff. But yeah,
And then throwing an old weekend away into the mix as well. It's probably sent you a wee bit off track.
Yeah, well, the weekend away was when I kind of was signing up as well. Like, I was starting on the Monday, so it was almost like a fresh Monday starting. So it wasn't too bad. Like, I still brought my meals and stuff away with me. We just had a bit of a meal out both evenings, which was very nice.
What did you go for?
I had a steak, mate. I know you're not a big fan of the steaks, but it was absolutely glorious. If I'm honest, it was fantastic. Steak, some potatoes, veg. Bob's your uncle.
Fan Dobby Dozy.
You have to get the chimichurri as well. You can't be getting peppercorn sauce. Chimichurri's like goated.
I don't know what that is, but I've been I was ridiculed again this week for it. The guy that actually rents our unit to us started training with me, and he ripped me a new one. Like, he even showed him the steak I had, and he was like, "Look, Donal, that's not really a good steak. It's like, it's a good steak, but you know, you want the butter over it, you want the peppered sauce, the potatoes that come with it." He was like, "You went too healthy."
Nah, but that's what I done. Chimichurri's like more of, I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest, mate, but it's not like that thick sort of peppercorn sauce. It's almost like tomato sort of, almost like a salsa sort of thing, but it's way nicer. If you know,
fresher.
you know. It's way fresher.
That's
yeah.
the problem. So,
anyone listening,
I
get on the chimichurri.
I'm gonna assume, because it's a question I have on the top of my head, that the listeners are thinking the same thing. What are the differences between Mr. Morris and Mr. Brightman?
Oh, see, it's hard to say so early. I think I'll know after a couple of weeks. But
You're still
in
in the honeymoon
fairness,
period.
in fairness, I've already, like, there's been a few sort of light bulb sort of moments where it's like the Dunning-Kruger effect. You think you know it all, or you think you're doing all right, and there's a few small tweaks that are mentioned, and it makes a massive difference. And it's like, for example, a few things were just said about my training, because sent training clips across about expansion of my rib cage. I know you're a big rib cage guy, and I just need to.
Me and AJ
control
were
it.
on the same prescript course.
Maybe that's, again, maybe there's a link there, because he said about the control of my rib cage, and it gave me a few minor cues with my pack training. Trained chest yesterday, and I was like, fuck, I don't think I've ever worked my chest like this. So it was, again, like, you think you know it all until you find out. Just have to be open to learning, and I'm definitely going to be open to learning loads. And I know I will, mate, already after like a week or so, just seeing the first check-in and how that was run. I'm excited because I know I'm going to make a lot of progress. It's just to execute.
Is that me or you?
I think that's you, mate.
What is it? Gone now. That was so strange, wasn't it? I don't know if anyone else heard that. But yeah, mate, rib cage is everything, I'm telling you.
My training split has changed.
Oh, really? What have you switched from till?
Right, so I was actually going to make this change myself when I was self-coaching for a couple of weeks. But then I was also like, I don't want to start making like loads of changes. In my own head, I was like, to keep things pretty much the same and then see what AJ says when I started. But he made that change. So I went from push, posterior, rest, upper, lower, rest. So I had one full leg day and a posterior day, as opposed to having like a pull session. But now it's just push, pull, legs, upper, lower, which is pretty standard. But I do actually prefer it. I think having 2 leg days in the mix. So I ran that posterior day for like 16 months, maybe 12 months at least. So yeah,
Are you
bit of a change.
hinging on lower?
I'm hinging on my second lower day. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, if the belt squat RDL then. I have a bit more volume through my delts specifically, delts and arms. Again, I was putting arms at the start of my sessions, recent enough. Recent change. I was just experimenting myself and seeing like if having that when I'm hitting them with a bit fresher would be beneficial towards arm growth. But he reiterated that and put arms at the start of my sessions too. I think a big priority for us is arms and delts. He says those are the areas like that need to come up. Which again, I probably wouldn't have exactly pinpoint. Obviously, I know they need to improve, like, but I was always more of the thought that the top line needs to improve the most. But arms and delts, like getting priority sort of specialisation block. So decent amount of volume going in. So I'll be excited, mate, to see how I respond to that.
Yeah, I don't think you see many bodybuilders with an issue of having too big of arms, so they probably should always be prioritised.
True.
You know,
You
unless
can
they're
never have.
extremely overborn. But
You can never have arms big enough. You can never have big enough delts. So it'll be welcome. Getting those areas to grow a bit more.
Funny enough, it's been a common occurrence. My last two, which I'll jump into whenever we talk about the PCA, but my last two competitive clients having to stop them from training calves.
Really? How
Mate,
come?
like so overpowering that made their quads like severely small, and their quads are not small.
Because their calves are big.
Yeah,
Fuck,
but
I wish I had that problem.
Oh no, mate. They're also common occurrence as well. They're both racking in about 35k worth of steps a day.
Yeah, so they're just taking a lot of tonnage. The legs are taking loads of volume. Yeah, that's fair. It makes sense then.
Maybe you'll have that problem soon.
My steps are ridiculous, to be honest. But it is what it is.
Are you finding
It's not an
it
issue
hard?
now.
It's not an issue now?
It's not an issue now. Like you could see it presenting to be more of an issue maybe during like a contest prep or something. When you're, don't know, we'll see. Expenditure being high anyway, it gives me a bit of license to have more food, which is never a bad thing. What were you going to say there before I could?
Well, you could probably look at having, I've heard AJ do this with a couple of people, but having a food prep with no cardio.
He pulled cardio right off the bat there. So he had cardio in 2 sessions cardio, which is one more session than I was originally doing, because I was doing 30 minutes of cardio on one of my rest days, and then he seen the steps after the first week, and he was like, you know what, mate, we're just going to pull the CV all together here, because like you're doing 26,000 steps, then you're having legs the next day, and you're doing legs plus 25k plus steps. It's just you're not going to have enough room to recover through the legs there. So, like my activity's high enough. I should remain fit. The heart rate should stay pretty low and pretty healthy. So it's like don't really need cardio for now. We're just going to pull it, see how it goes.
Well, you know, at the later end of it, it's either going to be that you pull cardio or you end up giving up like your morning walk.
Yeah. Don't know if I could do that.
I know you're a man of routine. I don't think you'd want to do it.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes. I mean, yeah, I just rack up loads of steps. Like I've got into the habit of trying to get steps, I think, and now just as a byproduct, the steps are higher. Like during the gym and stuff, I'll be walking around, pacing up and down between sets, you know, as a means of keeping my expenditure high. But I need to train myself now not to do that and just bring the steps down a bit.
It can be hard. It can be hard to get rid of like habits that you've built like that. There, especially ones that you've seen as like habitual, like things that are actually good.
Yeah. Let's just do the opposite now. Try and be less active.
Yeah. Just tie yourself. Start seatbelting yourself to the machine so you can't move. Can't leave.
You need. I need to go up and down. I don't even own a seatbelt.
You call yourself a bodybuilder? Are you joking? In this day and age?
I know they're a necessity now, aren't they?
Yeah, you need fat grips, a seatbelt, daisy chains, fucking carabiner clips.
I've had them all before. If ever I'm past that phase, mate. I've come full circle.
I feel like
just blood and guts now. Just blood and guts now.
So optimal that you're back to the start again.
Yeah.
It's like a full circle.
It's funny how it works. Like
I know. But did Olivia have a nice birthday weekend? Even though you did have to give up your routine.
She had a lovely time, I believe, mate. It was all about her, so made it special for her rather than, you know, worrying too much about myself. So it was just, yeah, it was a good weekend. She enjoyed herself. We got plenty of walks in. We went for nice coffees. Went for nice food. What more could you want?
Did you get anything nice and shiny?
An engagement ring like 6 months ago, so that's gonna do it.
That's fair enough.
The trip away kind of was the gift, and obviously like cards and flowers and stuff came alongside it. So don't think she was too. There weren't too many complaints. Like
she was well spoiled.
Yeah, and she had my company over the weekend, mate. So
yeah, I actually meant to ask. She posted, and I always just wonder this here because Rihanna educates me quite a lot, and you know all the girlies are gonna love this one. But what's your star saying, Emmet?
Oh, I don't know. Sorry,
I don't know. Bro, figure it out. Come on here, you're a smart man.
I'll Google it there. I actually have no idea, mate. Star sign. 10 September is my birthday.
September.
Virgo. That's my zodiac sign. I'm a Virgo. No idea what that means.
I'll have to look into me and your companionship, mate, as a Virgo and Aries. Compatibility. Yeah.
Let's see.
It's an unlikely but highly rewarding match.
Sounds a bit right. What?
Yeah. While their differences cause friction, they complement each other beautifully and share mutual respect.
There we go.
There you go, folks. You heard it here, folks. First, folks.
Aries. What month is that? What year are you born?
It's I'm born in 1998, like, but April.
I meant what month are you born? Look at us talking about star signs. We're just gone. Right, let's get back on track here. Come on.
We're washed up.
Two youngs talking about fucking zodiac signs and stuff.
Yes, it set you off. Right. Anyway, do you want to hear about my weekend?
Absolutely, mate. I want to hear all about the PCA client on stage.
Fucking PCA. You start from the start, right? Okay. So, you know, we'll completely dive off topic altogether here, out of coaching. So, bought myself an Audi A6 2013 2-litre TDI. Got it for £1,900, right? The only problem is it needed a clutch. It came with the clutch. So Kevin agreed that he was going to fit it, but he said I had to come up and lift the clutch out because it's 80 kilo. So Friday night, I'm like, fuck it, finish work at 8, bounce up to the mechanics. Me and Kevin are there till 11:30. I mean, there's oil literally over my head and everything. So we'll have to bounce back to the gym, like this gym, to get a shower, because if we had went home and tried to get a shower at 11:30 at night, Rihanna's ma would have went nuts at me because the amount of oil that was on me was ridiculous. So then I get myself home about 12:15 and in the bed sleep the whole night, back up at 5 a.m, about to bounce out the door to get the work. And Rihanna's like, no, did you not wake up last night? And I was like, no, what are you talking about? She's like, don't know, the police were in the house. I was like, right, what's happened? And she's like, some wee fella's got stabbed and he's got blood all over your car. So my car seized as evidence and I can't go to work in it, so Rihanna has to get me to work. But the only thing I'm thinking while I'm working 6 a.m. till 12 is that at 12 here I need to bounce, pick up, well, Rihanna's with me, but pick up Finn, Connor and Connor's girlfriend Neve, and I'm like, this better be fucking freed up. So basically back to the house, and my car's the only car big enough to actually bring all of us up. So go back to the house and I've got my car back, but the police haven't cleaned it at all. So there's just blood all over the wheel, blood up the side of the door, and I just have to drive it to Derry like it.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so an eventful start to the weekend, to say the least.
Right, so you went to the show with some fella's blood in the car then?
Yeah, I think it was like a good luck thing. Do you know the way they say, like, a pigeon shitting on your head's like, lucky?
Good luck? Yeah.
Maybe that was really good luck.
Right, but we'll not maybe keep that as like a standard going forward, like, as a requirement.
Hopefully not.
To continue getting stabbed. So you can win shows.
Yeah, fuck it.
Right, but that's a stressful start. You obviously had to stay composed to keep that together.
I just don't stress out anymore. Like, and this one, you're gonna get that show, and it's gonna be fine.
I know, but like it's not a case of like something just minor happened. Like I would stress. That's pretty stressful. Like you had to, you done well to keep it together.
Yeah.
Did you tell Connor he was competing, or did you kind of just keep it under wraps and maybe just let him focus on the show, or how did they play that one?
Oh fuck no! I told him. I was like, sorry, I'm late. This happened, and he was just like, I think telling someone like that there whenever they're on show weekend almost completely takes all their stress away. They're like, fuck me. Like I thought I was getting tight. This fella's just had that happen to him.
True, and they're like, well, what's a show, a bodybuilding show, really, when stuff like that's happening?
Yeah.
Well,
I know I'm sort of blowing over it, like, but stuff like that just does happen in West Belfast that often that you're so normalised to it. Probably shouldn't be. Probably not right there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's anyone listening from Australia. That's West Belfast in a nutshell.
Yeah, pretty much. Boys fit in their own clutches and everything. Don't go to mechanics. But anyway, we got up. We got up with like a couple of hours to spare as well, so we actually got into the Airbnb pretty early. Got settled in. Rihanna and Eve sat and watched the wee movie. I took Connor around to get his tan. He looked good. He definitely takes care of himself. He works in a wee tanning shop, and you can tell like the difference between like somebody that actually has a bit of a base layer tan and like looks after their skin properly. Whenever they do get tan, like it just comes through really natural and looks good. He just looked slightly darker. Do you know what I mean? He didn't look like he just got plastered with orange the way I did, because I'm a pale fella. Like.
Aye, I'm same. That's good though. And then the show itself was pretty successful, wasn't it?
Mate, I was looking forward to that show for so long because like you knew he was competing at it. There was just so many names. It was phenomenal. Do you want me to screen share? Do you want me to jump onto the PCA Instagram? Run through it?
Aye, go for it.
Go for it.
Because I was keeping up to date with it online, obviously, but you had the luxury of being in there in person.
Oh man, it was absolutely brilliant, to be honest. Can we see this? Are we all good?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah. Sorry if you see notifications coming through. Kevin keeps sending me random shit. Search PCA. Realised as well the PCA Ireland actually follows me and I'm following back, but it is what it is.
That's why, mate. Give him a follow there.
Ready? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. So if we just scroll down, if we could actually just go to the overall, because the overall was quite good. There was a couple of people that didn't actually take their overall spots, but it is what it is. Like, we had Ben, John Martini, and Dara McNamara taking their pro cards.
Yeah,
which was
the guy.
very good.
And I know Dara McNamara because I follow him. He
Yes.
does his vlogs on YouTube and stuff. He wasn't initially going to jump into the show. I think it was sort of a last minute thing because he knew the pro card was up for grabs, so he jumped in. I think no peak. That was him. Obviously your coach Ben looked unbelievable,
Yes.
mate. And he won the overall as well.
Yeah, well deserved, mate. You know, he was fucking nails. He did class.
Yeah, and then Big Fenton's there too.
Yeah, Big Fenton's there, and then beside him to the left there, right here, is John Martini. So what I would say is that Fenton is absolutely phenomenal, and he definitely, like, he looked the part on stage beside these two. Do you know what I mean? That was clearly the top three whenever you seen the lineup.
Yeah.
In terms of placing for the overall, but Fenton wasn't given his pro card, which was a bit controversial in my opinion, to be honest. Like, you know, to give the likes of John Martini his pro card, Dar McNamara, Ben, not to give Fenton it, and then they also have him in that sort of top three lineup. In my opinion, the way it was looking from the judges was a strange one, to say the least.
And he won his class.
Yes, he won his class.
That's strange. I think with the PCA, they're just looking for like a certain look that I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, really.
I don't know if there's been I've had a few conversations across the board, and to be honest, I think everyone's in the same sort of boat. They're like, they don't really know what happened, but it is what it is. The game's a game. But he went to the universe anyway, and he took second in his class, I believe, which is fucking phenomenal. Dar McNamara plays sixth, which is crazy.
I thought it was fourth.
Fourth. But then again, actually thinking about it, Fittins would have been, or Dar McNamara's would have been a pro class, so that does make sense. And then Fittins would have been still novice, or not novice.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like amateur.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. And then obviously your own client there standing alongside a very, very strong overall.
Yeah, definitely did not look out of place. He looked very good. He definitely needs more size, but when you take into account that's the first time bodybuilder winner there, beside what you've got is I think that's a short classic winner, Sintu. He's also Ben's client. He looked phenomenal. I mean, if you're looking at them three, especially beside like John Martini as well, who is a pro, you can see Connor's definitely got the condition on John, but he is a good bit older. Sintu was nails, to be honest. I can't really try and compare them both, but in terms of size they look very similar. And then as you sort of scale up here, you can see some bigger guys at the end there. Logan looked very good too, a junior dad too, so he's under 23. Very, very good to be able to hold his own beside Dar McNamara as well. That picture, of course, but in person you could definitely see the clear winners were this top three here.
Yeah.
And then of course I'm going to be very what's the word? Whenever it's
biased.
My opinion, I'm going to be very biased because Ben looked very, very good.
No,
So
I don't think that's biased at all. I think objectively he just looked very good.
Yeah. We'll not talk about the girls because I don't really have a clue about the girls, to be honest. I don't really know how to judge very well, but if I sort of flick through here, you can see Connor took the first timers, which was very, very good. He came in very good, in my opinion. He definitely needs more through his back, is the only thing that was sort of commented on through the PCA, but his condition was good. He just needs to get bigger, and his back just needs to come up a wee bit more. Other than that, he did class for a first timer bodybuilder. I don't think we could ask for much more on stage.
And is that his season?
One and done. Yeah, we were supposed to come into the PCA first timers, but I just didn't think he was ready yet. And whenever we had a conversation about it, he agreed. Wanted his first experience on stage to be perfect, like as perfect as possible. Of course, you're never going to have a perfect week or a perfect peak, but Connor hadn't realised a couple of like finer details, like he was going to be working up until like the Friday and stuff like that there, which definitely wouldn't have been helpful because his job, just like yours at the minute, is requiring him to have a high amount of steps, so he wouldn't have been able to be off his legs. It wouldn't have dried them out properly. He still would have had a good bit of inflammation, the finer details, but the finer details matter, especially when you're getting into trying to do well in a competition like that.
Yeah, 100%. Is it scratched the itch for him? Is he still keen to continue competing? I would hope so, because he looked very well. There's high potential there, especially if you consider he's a first time competitor as well.
Yeah, he's we've jumped straight into an off season. We've got around 3 weeks here of just a bit of a health phase to see where things are, get his bloods done, and then start pushing into a pretty heavy off season to, I would say, take him back on stage. Probably depending on how good he is and how good of a standard he holds himself at, we could look at the end of 2027, but realistically we would be looking into 2028.
Yeah. And how do it feel for you having a client up there, winning the class, being involved in the overall as the coach?
Yeah, like I do be quite nervous, to be honest. I try my best not to let the client know, of course, but whenever you're in the crowd, like I was sitting there with Finn and I was like, Finn, like I think he might have second here. You start really picking him apart because in your head you always have a bias, so you're like, is he as good as I think he is? Like, or maybe this other guy has it. No, this other guy definitely has it. What am I talking about? And then Finn's like, shut the fuck up, Donal. Like, he's clearly first. Like, just be quiet. And then, even better, because Dar McNamara had been posting his client at the time as well, I was like, and we actually seen him in the Tesco on the way there, and I was like, that guy's like 6'2" and humongous, but he just didn't come in. He did not come in conditioned, and to be honest, like if you ask anyone as well, Connor's physique just has something very pleasing about it. It looks very aesthetic. You know, it's not blocky or put together. It's just, it looks very nice.
Yeah. Condition wins shows too, doesn't it?
Condition does win shows, and that's exactly what Dara McNamara wrote as well in the post.
Yeah. But overall, mate, a rough start with the car situation, but finished strong.
Yeah, finished very strong, mate. Very happy to have that first place. So it's 2 years now, getting the top 3, which is nice. Had Kuhn last year in men's physique, taking second place against Shane McCall, which was again a very good competitor, and then to see Connor take a first place in a good lineup and also stand on stage in an overall and hold his own, can be happier as a coach.
Yeah, man, must be a great feeling. Full of pride, like having a client up there doing well. How long have you been working together?
Mate, I'm terrible with questions like that there. You throw me under the bus here, mate. I can tell you right now, give me 2 seconds. I can double check. We started working together December 19th.
Right, okay. So basically the 2026 you've been together. So this year.
Yeah, so around say 6 months. And we started prep. Where have I wrote this? Sorry, probably should have got more information for you. We've been able to tell you exactly when prep started.
4 or 5 months.
I don't know. Continue talking, man. I'm going to find it. I am absolutely terrible with recall on. We started prep on the 12th of January.
Right, okay. So yeah, it's over 4 months. 4 months prep. Standard enough, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, 16 weeks. Yeah.
Now we're 26th of May. We're nearly in the June here. Half the year almost gone. 5 months in.
I do have a bit of a question for you. The sort of kick us into something a wee bit maybe more educational for this one instead of it just being a full recap. But Emmet, if you had 7 months left of the year, what would you do to get in shape, the best shape of your life, or to set you up for 2027 in the best way possible?
That's a good question. So, presuming the first 5 months haven't gone as well as you would have liked, or maybe you have started off and you want to just kick things up a gear. 7 months left of the year. Just start now, depending on where you're at with your physique, whether you're going to go into a diet or you're going to, if you need more muscle and you just want to gain a bit of size, if you're a bit newer in the gym, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be spending a lot of time growing as opposed to dieting down all the time. But 7 months is loads of time. Like, you've got plenty of time to get in shape there. Honestly, you can make life-changing progress within the period of 7 months by just getting the head down, putting in the work and being consistent. You know what I mean?
I think you're so right there, to be honest, as well, with just starting. Like, a lot of people really they overcomplicate it with like certain phases, whereas just getting going is enough to actually get you started.
Yeah, it's not right. It's not much of an answer, but it's just like, just start and see where you go, because 5 months in the year, I don't know about you, but it's flew by and it just goes like that. And like, the amount of people who've probably started the start of the year, I'm starting the diet on the Monday, I'm going to start next week, I'm going to start when things quiet down. Just start and try and put a consistent run together. If you've got 7 months, give yourself a bit of a timeline as to what you want to achieve within that 7 months, and then work backwards from there, and work towards that goal.
Yeah, I think that's pretty
simple, like very simple. But have someone as well holding you to a standard, whether that's a coach, whether that's a training partner who's a bit more experienced than you in the gym. Take them along for the ride. If you have accountability, if you're being held to a higher standard, especially when you're trying to figure everything out yourself, it allows you just to execute as opposed to wasting so much time thinking about what you're going to do. Have someone there who can guide you, and map it out for you, because that's usually the hardest part. No, like everyone knows maybe they want to get in shape and the intentions are there, but they don't know how to go about it. So just have someone who's more experienced. Like, let your ego and pride to the side, and just learn how to follow someone else's plan. And within 7 months, you can absolutely change your life.
I believe that's a very common terminology of just be coachable.
Yeah, like honestly, like I know that I could have completed an off season on my own. Could have done, like in theory, but I know, like in the middle of an off season with 20 more weeks to go, that'll take me almost up to that's another 4 months at least of the year, so it'll take me up to most of the year where I'll be in an off season. But I know for sure I'll make a lot more progress having someone guide me and having accountability and having someone to check in with every week than just as I was doing myself. So if for anyone at any level, I think it helps.
Yeah. Sort of a notable one as well that you said at the very start of the podcast there is that, you were hemming and hawing about making changes because you were second guessing yourself, but AJ comes in and makes the change right away and you're like, oh, of course that was the right answer. You're almost afraid of making mistakes, which, to be honest, at the very start, with where you're at right now, totally understandable. You're like in a position where you don't want to make a change because you know AJ is going to make some sort of a change anyway. You don't want it to be the wrong one, etc., etc. But if I'm somebody just getting back into the gym, or just getting into the gym in general, like, make mistakes.
Yeah, and figure it out yourself. Like, rather than thinking, what's the best thing to do here? What's the best exercise to do for this body part? Blah blah blah. Like, figure it out yourself. Try both. See what you prefer, what feels better, and what works better for you in any approach. Like, don't be afraid to figure things out yourself. I was actually having a conversation with someone at work yesterday about AI doing their thinking for them. Like, you want to still be able to think for yourself and make decisions and make mistakes along the way. That's where you're going to learn from. Like, this guy gave me an extreme example. It was like his mate was, he asked him, should I wear a coat today? Should I stick a jacket on? Does he think it's going to rain? And I went, hold on, actually, I'll just ask AI. So we've got to the point where you can't even like make a decision yourself. Use your own intuition about putting a coat on. You're like, oh, I'll just ask AI. Here's it going to rain in Melbourne. Do you know what I mean? So do your own thinking.
That is phenomenal that people are using. I have a very similar story, but it's phenomenal that it can do that. Stop fucking using it for that. We I can't delve into it too much because it's a personal one, but basically know that there's a friend of a friend that's taking pictures of his outfits in the morning, laid out in the bed, and then AI's picking them for it.
For fuck's sake. Oh, come on, what style does ChatGPT have? Have your own style and your own personality, but you don't let it steal all your sense of thinking. Like, that's what makes you unique. So don't be doing that. It's a bit of a rabbit hole you don't want to go down, I think.
Yeah, you're selling your soul. Like, it's not good.
It has its purpose and has a place for certain things, but I don't think picking outfits or trying to predict the weather, which mean, if you're living in Melbourne, the weather's very unpredictable anyway, so ChatGPT is not going to be accurate with that. So
it's just gonna go on the latest news feed and just tell you anyway.
Yeah. But I might test it out myself just to see how accurate it would be.
You should
Later on today, out of curiosity.
You should try I guess it would be more of a thing I could do because I'm not really as not that I'm not as dialed in. I have other goals, but I can play a bit with things. I should actually get it to plan out my eating for the day.
I think it could be decent enough at that. But you have to obviously...
I'm just gonna give it no information at all and just be like, look, I want a fight on the 19th of July. I'm 86 kilo right now and I need to be 82. What should I eat today?
Fish and a rice cake.
Dust.
5 meals. I don't know. I don't think it would be good in that sense. If you give it enough prompts and whatever else, give it a bit of context as to what you like and enjoy, it can spit out a meal plan easy enough. But
at the same time, it can't. People are talking about AI taking their jobs, and I understand it can be a really stressful situation for some people. But there's people out there that are genuinely having to learn how to use this thing. People are still using it, like Google, and then you hear other things where, I was just introduced recently to Claude, and what that could do. I was like ChatGPT is a pet. It's actually a child comparatively to what Claude can do.
Yeah, Claude AI is probably a bit better than ChatGPT. I would say they're similar enough, aren't they? But I think Claude's a bit better.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I was able to I'll give you an example. I was able to get it to pre-lay out my rota for the week based off of previous rotas and what it thinks is going to happen.
But when it comes to stealing your job and whatever else, if you're good enough, you're fine. If you're not very good, this is in the coaching perspective, if you're not very good as a coach and you just give out meal plans and training plans, then yes, you should worry about AI taking your job. But if you're actually very good as a coach, coaching is a lot more than meal plans and training plans. It can't really fake human connection and coachability and being able to react to certain situations, and it's just the human connection part that if you have a decent enough communication skills, you can relate to other humans, then you're sweet.
Yeah, if you're not having AI pick out your clothes, you should be alright.
Yeah, but there will be people out there who get AI to do their training plan and do their diet plan. Do you think they're still having success with it? Probably not, because it's one thing giving out the plan, but sticking to it is the actual catch. That's the hard part.
It's also for a coach, it's puzzling together everything that's actually happening as well and getting all the information. Like you say as well, it's also just that human connection, that time spent with actually training somebody, and it's all the small things as well, being able to go out of your way to I don't know, yes, it's very hard to explain off the bat without much thought into it, but I tend to meet up with clients for sessions every once in a while, grab a coffee with them, grab a call.
Yeah.
And
I can't do that.
Together. No, I can't. I'm sure it can in some way, but it's definitely not going to be very good.
And that's proper value, you know what I mean? That's in-person connection. That's that human connection part. You can use AI to help, and it can make you more efficient at certain things. I think in terms of time saving, can be a big one. But it can't replace human connection and communication and all those soft skills that you want to develop, and problems, making mistakes too, is something that actually makes you better. So if you're afraid of making mistakes, and you keep asking AI and you try and perfect your way through it, you're not going to actually learn really anything.
No, not at all. I think as well, AI as a coach is going to be a great tool to try and free up time for the tasks that are not coaching. Like I said, like I was like sorting out my rota, like great. I could possibly fucking get together a load of shit for my taxes at the end of the year, so I'm not spending time on that there. Do you know what I mean? It can do all these things. That means that I get to delegate more time to actually being a good coach. But being a good coach is not something it's going to do. You know what I mean? You don't see Claude jumping in a fucking Audi A4 with blood all over it, driving to there.
There you go. There you go. Like, you could have been asking ChatGPT, what do I do? This has happened to me. The ChatGPT would say, call it, mate. So you're not going anywhere. Like, you know what I mean?
ChatGPT, imagine you're from West Belfast.
Well, yeah, may change things slightly, but otherwise ChatGPT is saying you need to go maybe therapy, get some
Just
speak to someone.
You're fucked.
Speak to someone, yeah. You need to go and speak to someone, and you don't need to be going to the dairy and watching people on stage. After that, mate, you've PTSD, so PTSD
and bodybuilding. It was an interesting topic I caught you earlier, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
Yeah, especially because Dara was up at
the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So since you've obviously since caught up with that. Last time I spoke to you about it, you said you hadn't really.
Yeah, I'm kind
followed
of
along with too much. It's hard not to be like not to have come across that, isn't it? Like at this stage.
I'll be honest, I didn't watch any of the reels. I just sort of got the grasp of it, like the
yeah.
Though we've got time. We'll sort of delve into it really quickly about what the crack is there in terms of trending topics in the bodybuilding world.
Basically, in essence, that one was just
party one.
There was a bodybuilder who was kind of linking bodybuilding with like almost experiencing PTSD with the process that bodybuilding requires, and then the other one was just kind of calling them out regarding it, and telling really just to toughen up sort of thing. That's it in a nutshell.
What's your opinion on the situation?
I actually don't care enough. Like, I think there has been definitely a level of like pettiness, both sides are going back and forth continuously, and taking like pot shots at each other and whatnot. But I think the first guy who has said about the PTSD, if he hadn't used the word PTSD, I think it's just because that's been jumped on because like that's obviously something that requires diagnosis and stuff. But like feelings of almost maybe like stress and trauma from a bodybuilding process is definitely, I'd say it's definitely something that can definitely happen. Probably a lot of the time, maybe if you're in it for the wrong reasons too, that can be the case, or you're a bit young, and it's just something. You've
experience with a coach.
Yeah, like all these things can cause obviously negative feelings, negative connotations. And I think the other person just obviously loves bodybuilding, so he's taken an issue with that, and he's seen probably what the bodybuilding process has given him positively, and he's maybe taken that as like a personal insult to anyone that loves bodybuilding, because you do always hear people coming off with like bodybuilding ruined my life and whatnot. So yeah, like in terms of seeing both sides, probably just could use different wording on one end, and then the other end's probably just like, I just wouldn't really care enough to be taking the bait or getting involved in like personal arguments with it.
Why bite? But then again, it's just social media these days, isn't it? People just want to be trending.
What do you think about it?
I think that you can't dictate what someone else sees as trauma. Do you know what I mean? You don't know what they're experiencing from a psychological standpoint in their head, and also sort of like you touched on, if you're in a position to where it has caused trauma, maybe you weren't in a mentally healthy or stable position prior to getting into bodybuilding prep, and it doesn't matter what you had done that year. If it had been just a hard task in general, it probably would have left you in a bit of a scarred position. Don't get me wrong, post prep was fucking difficult, and I'm not saying I had an absolute field day and it was easy, but in no way did I say I have trauma from it. Like, I would go back into it tomorrow if I wanted to, and I haven't exactly ran away from bodybuilding because of it.
Yeah, I think bodybuilding's an extreme sport. Like, it requires taking your body to the absolute extremes. So it's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be tough if you're not in it for the right reasons, or you don't know what you're getting yourself into. It could be a big wake up call for you, or you might be in for a bit of a shock. But if you know and you're going into with the expectations, you're just in, like, you love the process of it and you're in it for the right reasons, you probably take from that and enjoy it, and want to keep going with it. So it's just, I think it's about perspective as well, and knowing what you're getting yourself into. Like, it is an extreme at the end of the day. It is tough. You also know that, like, I haven't experienced it firsthand, that like post prep and stuff is going to be difficult, but going in with the expectation, knowing that it will be, and just having the right people around you, the right support network, to be able to help you through that period afterwards. But, like, I know personally, I love it enough that one prep or whatever, which, like, is a first time prep, maybe arguably your toughest, isn't going to deter me from continuing to compete and have bodybuilding as part of my life for years to come. And definitely not going to, like, think negatively about it. Like, my experience of bodybuilding, I think, will always be positive because of what it's given me in terms of purpose, fulfillment, structure, routine, all that. It's just like that it's such a good platform for me to be able to channel all that positively. So for me, it's been a bit of a blessing, and will continue to be. And that's early days. That's not having even competed yet, but knowing that that's something I want to do for many years. So we'll see how it goes, mate.
Yeah, I think that as well. Like, you're about to do something so hard that it'll make everything else easier in your life. I definitely experienced anyway. There's a lot of things I struggled with prior to getting into bodybuilding from a perspective of just certain skills in my life, and bodybuilding made that easier. Made that a lot easier because I realised that these things aren't actually that hard. I just need to be able to put that same amount of focus and attention and intent into them.
Yeah, it definitely forces growth, doesn't it? Like, as a person.
Yeah.
It's not just the physical, like the mental fortitude and stuff you have to go through, and you come out the back end of that, having done it, with a lot more discipline, with a lot more belief in yourself, probably, that you can do hard shit, and it will lead you to be able to continue to do hard shit, and then when times are tough and you're going through adversities and challenges in your life, you can get through them because you've lived that experience, even if that's through bodybuilding. I think that definitely helps.
What I just kept thinking through prep, mate, to be honest, was that every single thing that was actually really hard that happened, instantly just thought, you know what, if I can get through this here on prep, imagine that there plus a square bar, I'll be fine. I wish I was lying. Like, I was just my thought. I was like, imagine this here, but like I could just go eat something afterwards. That was like,
yeah, big bowl of cream rice, big bowl of oats.
To be fair, mate, I have started transitioning slowly but surely back to it again. I'm on a bit of sweet rice at the minute, so I'm having boiled rice with sticky toffee pudding whey and blueberries.
Actual rice?
Yeah, actual rice.
That's great. I think that's nice. I rate that.
Have you had it before?
Because there was one day I ran out of cream of rice and used jasmine rice instead, and had the whey and stuff on it, and I was like surprisingly absolutely loved it.
Mix it in, mate. It just turns it into rice pudding.
Yeah. So like,
smash.
Even like that dessert mango sticky rice, it's just rice with like the sweetness to it, and the mango, so you can make it work. Like, what about the Perform come out with the masala the tikka masala. You didn't use that with your rice, did you?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think?
Mate,
What do you think?
so I didn't have the tikka masala. I had the Thai green curry. Mate, it was spot on. Like, I mean, it was it.
It's mad, like, but
I don't know how they did it. Like, it blew my mind. Honestly, I had some, Rihanna tasted some, Patrick tasted some. Like,
they all like
we're all in a great. Yeah, we're all like, fuck me, that's crazy that you could actually get a protein that tastes like it.
Do you know what? Give it to Perform. They come out with some absolutely outlandish flavours, but they seem to just get the flavours of all of them. Majority of them bang on, like.
Mate, I don't know what they're doing, like, or what they're doing differently. Like,
What's
is
your
it mad
what's
how,
your
how far protein powders came? Like, do you remember
know.
your first like protein shake? Like, mine tasted like shit.
Mine was USN, classic big thick thing. Got it in DW Sports up top. I remember getting my first protein. My mum was disgusted by me, like. She thought I was on
Don't be getting that on the counters.
You thought I was on PEDs with the reaction. And you know what? I thought I was on PEDs when I first started taking protein shakes, double scooping it. Thought it was the dog's balls, like.
Oh mate, I got Mass Gainer. It's my first protein shake. Cause you know me, I think I was 55 kilo the first time I weighed myself going to the gym. So I was like, I need the Mass Gainer in. Didn't have a shaker either. So you can imagine this. I used to have a glass and just stir it with a fork. It was just like cement.
Oh, that's wild.
Terrible.
Do you have any other supplement horror stories from back in the day? Pre-workout. It was a big MVP pre-workout was a big one for me. Like, honestly, stem and Christ. I used to really like it, but afterwards I knew like I was taking a hit. Like,
Wow,
like
wait, I need to
the
find
come down off it was insane.
I need to find the pre-workout that I used to take, because I actually remember, mate, having a really, really bad come down off this here. Like, it was fucking horrible, mate. Where is it? Mutant something?
Don't know. MVP was the big one for me. There was always one behind the desk. Mutant Madness. Sounds interesting.
I triple scooped it before a session. No, mate, I know.
Triple
Scooped this here thing before a session in Pure Gym. Hit the session and then went and worked a 5 to 11 in Boo Gym, mate. And I mean, like, I just remember sitting there thinking, like, I'm like, what is the point of life anymore? Like,
I'm
like
gonna die.
the come down was actually so bad. I actually just remember. And then it was around this time that David Lade started educating a bit more about like the MMA, like the compound that sort of comes along with, like, what is it, like speed or something like that that comes out of, or I don't know, but they were putting it in pre-workouts and checked the back of this tub and I was like, oh, I've just taken
And it had in it, did it?
3 scoops of speed.
Honestly, stay away from the stem prees. I think I haven't touched them. Now that's true. PTSD. Stimulant pre-workouts from back in the day. Double scooping, triple scooping. It's put me off them, be honest, for life. So I'm an espresso man only nowadays. But even behind the counter in the gym, I used to take I think it was Chaos Crew pre-workout. Wasn't the strongest, like. Actually, it was. You know what? It was. It was full of caffeine. To be fair.
Chaos Crew Stimhead.
Yeah, that one. I used to use that. Pretty mad.
That stuff is like, I actually remember as well. I remember my last sort of stint of pre-workout, and it was I think it was around my sort of deadlifting arc in headquarters, like second year in, when I got that 230 for 3. But I remember dry scooping pre-workout and just following it down with Monster.
Oh yeah, double parked. I almost died before me taking pre-workout. Genuine, not even. So what do you call the gym? We've spoken about it before. It's a gym in Lisburn, bodybuilding gym. Elite. Is it called Elite?
Yes, Elite.
Go say. So I went to Elite
Mark
on my own.
Ellis gym.
Was first getting into like bodybuilding style training at the time, and dry scooped pre-workout in this. If you've been in this gym, it's like pretty like old school sort of rundown boxing gym sort of vibe to it. Really good equipment in the gym, but it was in the change room on my own. Dry scoop pre-workout. Had no water with me at all, very stupidly, and just almost choked to death. Like I was like, oh my god, some bodybuilder's gonna pick me up here in the change room, just haven't died like with this like a load of foam, a load of powder just in my mouth. I got to a water tap and was able to get it, but I was choking. It was pretty scary like, and then went and hit push afterwards.
Best push session ever.
Great session. Probably.
Rate it 10 out of 10.
Right. But that was mad. Pre-workout back in the day, like nuts. Last question, mate, for you. Give me your top 5 perform whey flavours.
Oh fuck. I hate you.
Do you want me to go first?
No, because I'm going to change my mind. I want to be honest.
Just go your staples, like
sticky toffee pudding, jammy biscuit, cereal milk, carrot cake, cinnamon donut. Actually,
that's
put cinnamon donut at the top.
Cinnamon donut number 1.
Yeah.
So yours is cinnamon donut, sticky toffee, jammy biscuit, cereal milk,
carrot cake.
and carrot cake. Yeah, and that's the top 5. That's a solid top 5. I actually highly rate that. Mine number 1 is honestly lemon cheesecake.
I can see it.
It's actually great. I don't know if it's number 1. It's a bit of a niche one. White chocolate is actually great. Just tastes like Milky Bar. So that's in my top 5. Lemon cheesecake, white chocolate, cereal milk is like goes with everything. It's unreal. Big fan of the cereal milk. Cereal milk's fine. Nah, you actually can't go wrong with cereal milk. And then the sticky toffee one I had is actually quality. They got that bang on. So I go sticky toffee. And then I love the white chocolate raspberry. I don't know if that's going to make my top 5.
I can remember it, to be fair.
It tastes like raspberry ripple almost, the ice cream from back in the day. Carrot cake's good, but like I think I kind of sick of myself with it. When I first tasted the carrot cake, I was like, there's no way a whey protein has ever tasted this nice. It was just like the icing of a carrot cake. It was insane, but
especially
the more I've tried, yeah, no, it is good. But I'm going to go cookie dough.
I've never had it.
It's like just perfect. It's like enough, but it's not. It's like plain enough that it goes. It's neutral enough it goes everything. So mine's is lemon cheesecake, white chocolate, cookie dough, sticky toffee, and cereal milk.
What about white chocolate raspberry? No, did not make it. No.
Nah, it's just it gets a special shout out. So does carrot cake. So does sweet and sticky. Sorry, yes,
sweet and salty popcorn.
Sweet and salty popcorn. You wouldn't believe how good it is.
Banging. I would actually. Nah, it's not making the top 5, but top 10 definitely makes top 10.
Do you know what I was speaking? I remember like Jack Buff from
Mate,
Gym Doc and
how
Ballinhinch.
good does he look right now?
He looks unreal actually as well. Yeah, he's looking phenomenal.
Hell.
Yeah, he's looking good. But he said to me, because remember he used to work in the gym in Ballinhinch, and they used to sell all the Perform, and I was like, what about that sweet and salty popcorn? Surely it couldn't be good. And he went, nah, it's actually one of the best. It just tastes like the cinema when you're putting up with your oats. And I went, alright, guess that then. And then definitely didn't regret it. I think the only performed flavour I've truly regretted and was like, this is terrible, is blueberry muffin.
I rocked that for a long time, mate, to be honest, but it's so overpowering and sweet.
I love blueberry muffins, like, and it's just not as it's not
too,
for a whey
too,
for me.
Too processed of a flavour. I know it sounds so stupid when you're talking about whey protein, but like it's way too processed of a flavour.
The man that it rates the Thai green curry whey protein.
Definitely, it makes the top 10. Like, makes the top 10s. It really does. What about? I got a sachet of it off of a client, and I was very, very happy with it. But it didn't make it into Perform's newest.
Was it a waffle or a?
No, it
cinnamon,
was a cinnamon cereal.
Cinnamon sort of one. That would be
cinnamon
good.
Crunch cereal, mate. There was real bits of cinnamon crunch cereal in it.
Was there?
It was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Jesus. Don't know, but it might be great for digestion. That one might have a bit more calories, I would say. But cinnamon cereal from back in the day, curiously cinnamon.
Smash.
Best cereal ever.
Had way too many boxes out there at one point in my life. Like,
same.
It was so expensive between that there and Crave, mate.
Oh, Crave! Oh my god, Crave, like 40 gram serving gives you like 3 pillows. So you were having so much. I was having so much. Like you need to have a decent amount. To have a decent amount of Crave, you're talking like 600 calories plus probably.
Okay, last question and we're done. If you got to eat a full box of Crave today with no consequences, what would be the whey protein you'd add to it?
Cereal milk. Easy.
Oh, well, I guess that's a pretty obvious one, isn't it? I go Thai green curry, sure, stir it up a bit.
No, you wouldn't. That's a Bush Tucker trial. I'll give you one more. I'll hit you with one more question. Give me one protein source, one carb source, and one fat source, but you're only allowed to have them for the rest of your life. What are you having?
Oh man, I don't want to make it sound so basic, but now I'm really thinking about it. You know, whenever you ask a kid like questions like this, like you're stuck on an island, like, and you only get one food, and they're like chips, and you're like, you didn't even think about it. Do you know what? I'm gonna really try and fuck this up really, 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 really badly, comparatively to what we usually go for. Garlic butter is my fat source. Bread and 5% mince, so I can just have garlic bread and mince.
Garlic bread, mince. Okay. You wouldn't get sick of that? I definitely would get sick of the garlic butter, I must say.
Fuck, I'd love garlic bread, mate. That'd be banging. Garlic bread every meal. Mince.
I could go so boring and so plain here and just go chicken as the protein, jasmine rice as the rice source, and then not even that, you could just go olive oil and you're just drizzling that on top, and that's like every meal. If you
start thinking about this, like, that's every single meal. Like, you're not allowed to have anything else for the rest of your life. Shut.
No, you know what? If I'm putting together a meal, it might be those 3 ingredients. But if I'm picking like my favourite of each, it would be protein. It would probably be rice or cream of rice, and it would be dark chocolate. You know what? Actually, see, instead of dark chocolate, I can maybe go with egg as a fat source, and then I'm still getting protein in there as well.
I like it. I could definitely take the egg. I think I would go if it was going like optimal, I would definitely go rice.
Yeah. Oh, because you can have so much volume with the rice.
Yeah, you can do so much with it too. Like, you can make,
and
like,
you can sweet or savoury.
Yeah.
That's why I go rice over.
The protein
over
source really fucks you up, doesn't it?
I just go chicken, like, without thinking every time. Yeah. The only other one that might get a shout in is probably
tuna.
Nah, not forever. Like, tuna the odd time. Maybe the beef mince potentially, or a steak or something. I know you'd not be going steak, but...
Do you know what, mate? See, before steak, and I had this for about 5 months. I used to have turkey steak. You ever heard that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have turkey steaks like every meal, sliced up.
I
It's
love
the driest thing ever.
turkey mince is great.
Mate, Sainsbury's do chicken mince.
Oh yeah, so everywhere over here does chicken mince, and sometimes like I'd use it if there's no turkey mince.
So good.
And it's decent. It's decent, but what we don't do over here, which you used to have back home, is the turkey burgers. I used to really like them.
I don't know. I think I just grew sick of them, to be honest, to like photo shoot preps and stuff, mate.
But it is just turkey mince, like, so you can definitely make a smashed patty with turkey mince anyway.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Right, sir. A very lackluster episode, I'd say, from us, but you know what? At least we got one in the books, and we'll be back at it again next week with a very educational topic.
Do you know what, man? I think we just needed to catch up, get a bit of a catch up. There's no harm in that, I don't think. You know what I mean? Get the ball rolling again after a few busy weeks. Sometimes that's better. Just having a bit of a chit chat. So we don't always have to have. I'm sure the listeners will agree. We don't always have to be pumping out so much value. Like, sometimes people just enjoy people talking about the shit, which is what we've done.
Big time.
But as you said, mate, next week we'll be back with a bit more value to bring. But that was good. I enjoyed that myself. It was a nice week conversation for me to start my day. Go off to work now. Teach PE for the day.
I hate to put you on the spot with this, mate, but Falkland Lay?
Falkland Lay? Oh.
No.
Let me think.
I'll just rhyme off the Irish words that I know, you know.
Well, you must have a good few Falkland Lay put together now.
John Jaffer.
Hurry up.
Go faster. That's it. Oh, I learned the word for big the other day. More?
Yeah.
More Donal. Big Donal. Or no, Donal more, sorry. Because it's backwards, isn't it?
Donal Moore. Yeah, Donal Moore. Big Donal. I think... Cora. We can go with Cora. Which just means conversation. We've just had a bit of a conversational one, so we'll go with Cora.
Perfect. That sounds good, sir. Sounds like it's topped the episode off just well.
Bit of Cora, bit of shit talk. Right, mate. Get yourself some sleep. I'll speak to you very soon, mate.
Slán go fóill, Emmet. Have a great day, mate, and we'll be back at it again come Sunday morning. You're
looking forward to it, mate. And here will we get a few guests on the go as well. I think we're
a couple wee ones lined up, don't we?
Put a few good ones, very good ones lined up, but we'll get that in the works and get them on. The ones that we have in mind will certainly be pumping out volume. We'll probably not get to be speaking about favourite whey protein, pace and stuff like that on those episodes. So we'll have to get it all over our system.
Just be sitting there and you'll just be sitting there in awe, not even speaking.
Hi.
Tell us more, please. Right, folks. Have a great fucking day. I'll speak to you soon. Emmet, have an amazing day, mate.
Slán go fóill. Pleasure as always.